should be back.
Hmm.
I'm hoping that we should be streaming live now. We're back with some BX Dungeons and Dragons, and Dion is back from his vacation from the hellscape of California, underneath the blazing sun, which he has come back just as pale as the Englishman Richard above him.
Yep.
Just disappointed. Just a little disappointed. Wanted to see the well-tanned Dion.
Or lobster Dion. It's one of two ways.
Yeah, it could be either one. All right, we're back tonight with our BX Dungeons and Dragons Mystara campaign. I'm going to start saying this at the beginning of these because I'm losing track of which one is which to post for the podcast. So this is October the 7th, 2022. Note to myself as I edit this.
I was going to say it's the 8th. You're wrong. At least two people here think it's a different date.
Well, see, that's just par for the course, I guess. Richard, who you playing tonight?
Hello there, I am Richard, and I shall be playing Scrimbleshanks, the illustrious halfling.
Something.
I almost said half-orc. Definitely not that.
Oh, for
Well,
sure,
I mean,
he
I'm
is
half-
not a thief. We know that for sure.
Definitely not.
He's not a
Those
thief.
are remarkably few words for Scrimbleshanks.
It's true. I'm sure his full name is much longer, but we won't get into that. Dion, who you playing tonight?
Hello, I'm back. I'm Dion, and tonight I am playing Stoltine Reinbach the 7th. Aristocrat
seventh.
from Averone, and level. I have a level. It's a good one. It's 5. Yep, I'm level 5. Magic user.
Okay. Yeah. Jameis, who you got?
I am playing Jaden Rayhorn, Cleary Elf Priest. I would say I'm level 8, but leveling doesn't mean anything anymore for me. It's just there is no more leveling.
And Bill.
Hey everybody, I'm Bill. I am playing Radnor the Large. He is a charter member of the Green Company and a 9th level wizard. And he's very large.
Okay. So your GM tonight is myself, Bert. I'm being fueled by coffee because I'm a bad Mormon.
That's a very large cup, sir.
Yeah, isn't it though? It's a soup cup, and it's just enough coffee, just enough.
Yeah.
Richard is showing us his urine bowl. And
40 fluid ounces of water every time.
Okay, guys. So last time we played, we'll just have we'll have a little review here, as it's been 2 weeks since anyone's played, including Dion. So nothing has happened since Dion's been gone. But you ended last scene talking to Azure in the dragon's human form, having agreed to release the dwarves that were under the dragon's sway outside of its fast, so that it wouldn't run in and immediately break your truce. This dragon seems to be a stickler to the absolute letter of the truce, and so anyone breaking the peace, offering the dragon malice, would break the truce. And the dragon seems to be quite interested in hammering out some kind of detail. It seems that the dragon had, in the past, the very distant past, apparently, made a deal with the dwarves that had prior lived in this fasting. And there's a great works going on that they didn't quite finish. Didn't go into a lot of detail to that yet. It was just mentioned in passing. I see Richard like, home. Yeah, not a lot of detail has gone into that. I'm just looking over my notes. It's like, yeah, there was only a sentence in passing. They didn't look into this one. Note to myself. Okay. There we go. So we'll pick this up outside of the fasting with the dwarves.
I think we ran out of time for the session when that revelation came up. Was reading there was a lot of last minute. Try and work something out.
Yeah, but what you did hammer out is the dragon would release the dwarves from its control, but didn't want to do it within the fasting and be immediately attacked. So agreed that you would lead them all out and they would release them out here. So we're going to take up the campaign. Take up the campaign with you outside of the dragon's domain. You understand the dragon has very keen hearing, as you were talking and aside to what is his name? The dwarf that was with you, Flint, Slate, the dwarf who was with you. And he had mentioned, hey, I don't want to just leave. My king was wanting some kind of investment opportunity here. There's a mountain of gold in there, supposedly. The dragon is like, no, I assure you, I took this fair and square. I have the contracts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where we sort of left off.
Yep.
Got contracts? Well, that,
Yeah.
that's illegal.
I'm here. So we'll take up with the dwarves being let go of their mental control. The dragon sent you up here with basically, because the dwarves have not been fed well, as the dragon didn't know what their current diet was. It was trying to feed them mushrooms and fermented mushroom beers and stuff that the dragon remembered the dwarves liking. And the dwarves now are like, what the hell is this? We'll pass. So yeah, you have these half-starved dwarves, weary as they've been doing some kind of mining down in there. They are been released. You are again outside of the dragon's domain, out beneath the sun. And on the map that's being displayed here, the little green dot is you guys. So this area here is your domain, and this is where your party currently is in the hills.
Oh.
It's very close to your domain.
Oh.
Hmm.
Oh, yes. I'm
Yeah.
glad that we made friends with him. This could be a very good alliance if we have a
Well,
lot of
he's
nine
up there,
humans.
isn't he? I thought he was up there.
No,
No,
that's something
he's-
else
he's
that
in the
Green
mountains,
Company's dealing with.
You're not exactly like it's in this general area that you guys are. It's not exactly in that hex.
Okay, I sort of up there.
But it's a hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah, it's close to the borders of your.
Oh, I thought it was further away than that. Oh, well.
This might be very beneficial for us to work with this dragon and help him.
So the dwarves being released, they immediately see Slate, who is in much better health than they are. I believe you guys were handing out some of your rations. Somebody, I think Stoltheim said he had some meat, and was.
I had rations. I'm pretty sure that I gave out.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn,
Alright.
it's 50 level.
Bert, can you remind me what color the dragon is?
You think it's blue?
You think it's blue.
Yeah, you're not
Doesn't it
absolutely
change colours a
sure.
bit?
I plan to next time we're somewhere where there's like libraries and stuff. I wanna research that.
Yeah, I think we made a roll last time of what you know, and it was shockingly little about the specific variety. Okay, so you guys are outside. Slate immediately starts talking in Dwarvish. Does anybody speak Dwarvish?
I
No.
usually think I might.
No.
Yes.
I'm sure. Yeah, I knew someone did.
Yes.
Someone did. Anyway.
I know dwarf.
Okay.
Not.
I don't know your audience.
Since I don't believe anyone ever talked straight Dwarvish to Slate before, so he may not know that any of you speak Dwarvish. He is talking to his
Didn't know he could speak
clan.
Dwarvish. He never said.
Yeah.
Darby, we miss ye.
Mugs up to Darby, who's enjoying Stonehill somewhere. So they're going into a very animated discussion. The dwarves that were just released, breaking into the rations, just hungrily devouring them. But they're describing, there's lots of hand gestures. They're describing something very grand. It seems those of you that speak Dwarvish are talking about, we've seen an enormous mithril vault with ceilings as several stories high, and the vault as large as a small township, just filled with treasures and armors and ancient mechanisms of dwarven make, talking about the piles of gems and of gold and bars of mithril that they saw. Slate is being very animated about it, trying to figure out, do you remember where, how deep, how well guarded, going into discussions and all of this. So those of you that can speak Dwarvish are overhearing this, and it very much sounds like Slate is being perhaps about to make some bad decisions.
Am I the only one who can do this?
As far as I
Who can
know.
speak Dwarvish?
Currently,
I think
yes.
so.
All right. Oh, Oh, you'll have to rely on me.
The best thing is, if you're speaking Dwarvish, we don't know what you're saying, so as far as we know.
Well, I will come over to the rest of you and say, hey.
Just don't make promises on behalf of the Green Company because you can't speak.
No, I'm talking to you guys, not to them.
Yeah.
You're one signature away from being a member of the Green Company.
Well, I mean, they're talking about, it was a vault. Well, not exactly a vault. It was more, a heavily guarded safe. A thing down there that was filled with gold and riches and was made out of mithril and, how dwarves, etc., love their tax-free riches that just reside underground. So they might be about to go and attack this dragon, for all I know.
That's not going to work out very well for them if they do that.
Well, then someone should convince them otherwise.
My friends, my dwarven friends, I'm so glad that we could assist you, but I must say, the idea of going back in there, not a good one. Not a good one at all. I would highly suggest against it. Our friend, quote unquote, down there, wishes to be left alone and has contracts to prove ownership of the area.
Slate turns around and responds, and he was talking very animated. He kind of brings it down, kind of controls himself, says, of course not. We're not that foolhardy. We'll go back and report to our king, of course. Perhaps come back in number some other time, more prepared for a battle.
We're obligated to defend the dragon if that happens, aren't we?
Yeah.
No, you haven't made a deal.
We are obligated to keep the Duke's peace.
Yeah.
That's what we're obligated to do.
Okay.
Yeah. And your personal deal with the dragon was that you would personally not offer the dragon harm, and it would not offer you harm as long as you are here. That's
Okay.
the extent of your deal.
Good.
Although Slate was with your party when that deal was made. Just saying.
I tell him not a good idea at all, and I pull out my little notepad and I write on an empty page. And I just hold it out, and it says, "He can most likely hear you. Leave."
Of course, we're going to go back to the fasting. We'll talk to our king, and our king will ruminate on any politicking that needs to be done to establish our hold once again. These are, after all, ancient dwarven holdings with a fabulous, and his eyes light up, fabulous wealth and machines of the ages not seen since my forefathers' forefathers.
You had a contract.
I was going to say, I don't think they're ancient dwarven things. They might be of dwarven manufacture, but that doesn't necessarily mean they belong to you.
Are you going back on a contract there, sir?
We'll have to let the barristers figure it out. Every contract can be wheedled out of.
Really? Everyone? Including the one which says that we won't kill and slaughter you? You and your weakened companions right here?
They all kind of they had like pickaxes and such on them, and they kind of like leery, kind of grab the haft of their weapons, and Slate just kind of pushes, just the calming hand. He's like, "Now, you are all of the Green Company, who I established a contract with, and I understand you're saying that, if I'm saying that a contract can be broken, of course, but you're the Duke's men. I'm sure the Duke would frown upon any such trespassing of an honorable contract. I mean, how honorable can the contract be made between a drake and my ancient kin? Obviously, the dragon must have mentally enslaved them or used some kind of chicanery to get them to sign such a contract."
Table talk. Table talk. I'm gonna do something
loud,
stupid.
by the way.
Yeah, table talk. I'm gonna do something stupid.
Always.
Okay. They're in a group and they're ahead of us, right?
Well, they're around you. They're not ahead. Like, you're all just kind of resting on a nice grassy little knoll.
Can I fireball just the dwarves?
Hell yeah!
If you really wanted to, you could. Yes.
Yeah. I'm neutral alignment, and these guys are doing something that is going to ruin a good, profitable opportunity and inciting
Wow.
violence
All
in a
right.
situation that we're handling. I still have the spell book out because the notebook is my spell book, but it looks like
All
a
right, I
fucking
tell you
notebook.
what, since
just-
Scrimbleshake though mentioned possibly killing them all, I'm gonna make a little roll here.
I was just mentioning it as,
They are not
contract,
surprised.
but hey.
So, Dion, roll me d6.
All right. D6. Wait, where's my? There it is. Oh, plus my dex, right?
If it's just you acting, yes. And we'll say it is for this first
don't
round.
matter.
I think
No, we'll
it's
say
a
it is for this
surprise round
first
because
round.
none of us were expecting that.
Oh my gosh! What's your dex? What kind of bonus do you have?
0.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So they notice you going for the spell book, and Slate points at you and says, "He's casting." They attack.
Okay.
This was not what I was expecting.
Okay. Well, Scrimbleshank, the old Dwarven battle. Page 3, I think, of the Tome of Battle and Grudges, where Dwarf says "Geek the Mage." Very top of the page, third page. So they're gonna geek the mage. It's obviously
Bring it!
trying to cast.
AC 6.
Yeah.
Is the Master Spec spells, is that just an area effect, or do you pick number of targets?
We'll find out soon
and
enough.
it's a fireball, so it's an area. It's like you basically drop the tip.
It's more for random. It's question for random. Anyway, the dwarves are attacking they're ganking the mage.
All right, I'm gonna be fair here. There's a total of 7 of them, but 7 of them really can't attack one person. So 3 of them are going to be able to attack
With
you.
that attitude, they can't.
Okay.
Well, you can't really get enough people in there since they're swinging pickaxes for the most part. So I'm going to say 3 of them can physically attack you. The rest of them are kind of surrounding you, looking for an edge to get in there. I'm going to say they're going to defend the other 3 against the rest of your companions if they join in. So 3 of them are attacking. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Those 2 17s are going to hit.
Okay.
All right. So these are kind of crappy pickaxes, so they're not going to do a lot of damage.
To a high hit point wizard. Yes.
Dion, are you impervious to fire? I forget.
No.
No.
Okay. That is 10 points of damage. Can you take 10 points of damage?
Yep.
Okay. It does interrupt your spell, so you
Yep.
cannot cast it on your turn. It is,
fine.
however, your turn.
I use my ring with
Okay.
fireball in it.
Okay.
And how many can I hit?
Since
this?
they move forward, I'm going to say your friends, like you maneuvered, you were intending to do this. So I'm going to say your friends are to your back, or at least to your side and back. Okay. So they're all in front of you. You can absolutely hit the 3 that just attacked you.
Okay.
However, so that leaves 4 more. Roll a d4, and that's how many more you can catch.
Please 4. Please
Roll
4.
Roll 4.
1. Okay.
So you'll catch 4 total.
Yeah.
Okay.
That works for me.
Roll
So
your
I
damage, and I'll
cast-
roll their saves.
What's
These are dwarves.
Where is it? Where is it? Hold on. I have it written down. Not written, but typed. It's 1d6 per level. Okay. So
But is this a ring that I made for him?
I don't think you made it.
No, this is a spell
bought it.
store ring. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
He cast the spell himself into the ring, so it would be his level.
That was my question.
Okay, 18
damage.
points. So 2 of them did not save and are immediately just fried, just reduced to ash. The 2 that did save, they both survive, badly wounded, but still up.
Okay. And
So that means that there are
those-
5 total. There are 5 total still there.
Are those 2 on me right now?
Yes, there are 2 still on you.
Okay.
Well, no, let's do it this way. So there were 3 on you.
Mhm.
And I'm just gonna take the first 3 numbers. So one of them died immediately, the other 2 made the save. So yeah, those 2 are still on you,
Okay.
and then one behind them got fried.
Sorry. Okay.
So there are 5 total left. You guys who were not anticipating this to happen can now react by making me an initiative roll. So let's go at the very top. Scrimbleshakes, give me a d6 for your side, because I want you all to die.
Indeed. Well, I have given us
A 3.
moderate death.
Yeah, okay. Well, moderate death, man. It's still
Hey.
yeah. You guys act first, and I should have asked. So let's just start from the top then. And I was going through the BX Essentials books. I mean, we're playing BX, but Essentials is essentially BX with a few things here and there. But I did notice that it's not just announcing spells, but also announcing movement before initiative. So I'm going to start asking that too. So who would have been wanting to cast this round, and who wanted to move this round?
I'm going to use a magic item.
Yeah, moving to engage is just standard melee. You don't have to announce that. But like if you're wanting to run around somewhere or do some other kind of movement type action. So Radnar, sorry, spell or item?
No, I was going to use a magic item.
Okay, so that's not a spell. You're good. Anyone else? Well, the only other person is
I'm
Jameson.
casting a spell, but I'm
You
going
are.
to regret it.
You are casting. Okay, Dion, are
Yep.
you casting?
I'm using
The ring?
item.
An item. Okay, so not casting.
No.
All right. Is anyone doing anything other than engaging in melee movement? Is anyone backing up or trying to do a maneuver type of thing?
I'm saying Stuttelham stop that, but I don't think it's going to do anything.
Okay. In which case, you guys want initiative, so spell, Jameis.
On the dwarves.
I should say missile. Was anyone going to shoot a missile? Let's start with that. Scrimbleshanks?
No.
No? Okay, so magic. Go ahead, Jameis.
Hold person.
Nice.
On as
The
many as you can
dwarves.
affect. As many as you can
Yeah.
affect. Okay. Because
Which
you
is good
can.
because
Yeah, go ahead.
anyone of greater than 4+1 hit dice and undead are not affected, so it's not going to affect our group anyway. So
Yeah.
Which I don't know. Scribbleshanks, what level is he? You 5 yet?
I'm a 5.
Yeah, then won't affect our group anyway. So doesn't matter.
Let me just look it up real quick. This is a cleric spell of what level?
Saving throw versus spell against the group. 1d4 individuals in the group are targeted.
It's 1d4 individuals in the group are targeted. So roll your d4.
Aye.
We're all rolling great. We're rolling
Okay,
great.
so who are you trying to affect?
The dwarves.
Well, which dwarf? Like, do you want to do Slate or just any one of his other people? Slate's still alive.
Do slate. The rest are
Was
weak.
Slate attacking Stuttelheim?
He grabbed a pickaxe and ran in, but he was not one of the first dwarves to hit Shodl.
I'll try and hold Slate then.
You're going to try and hold Slate. Okay. Let's see. He is not 4+1 hit dice. So he does a saving throw versus spell. Here we go. He is a dwarf, so his saves are slightly
true.
better.
Dwarves are great. You try
Yeah.
to save. I forgot about that.
Boom. That's still
You
not
saved.
enough. No,
Wasn't
he
it?
didn't.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Uh,
He is held. That spell segment. So next is melee. Or using an item. Either way.
duration 9 turns.
Wow.
I'm
90
using a
minutes.
Cure Serious scroll.
Okay. Fair enough.
So it's
yeah.
2d6 plus 2. I heal 12. Plus I healed 1 for my Ring of Regen.
Sure.
Hey, I created that for you.
So I'm max.
You're doing 2 things this turn then.
Okay.
And then, yeah, that's it for me. I'm still there.
Okay. Radnar, you were going to use an item?
Yeah, I'm gonna. How many do I think I can get with my ring that has a fireball spell in it?
Well, if you don't want to fry Stoltheim,
Please don't.
3, because he's got 2 on him in melee. So unless you
Okay.
want to fry Stoltheim,
I do not want to fry Stoltheim.
then you
One
can
of
get
those 3 is held.
One of those 3 is held. Yes, one of them is Slate.
Ooh.
And unfortunately, they're kind of grouped together, so you cannot keep Slate out of the blast.
Hmm.
Do you have a magic missile scroll or ring?
I do, but then I can only get one of them.
No.
Oh,
that's
you
enough.
can't
We
direct the
split up.
multiple bolts?
Well, I
You can
can,
split
but
magic
they're
missile
like
up.
4 hit points each.
Now,
Well, the
keep in mind the
2 that are on
dwarves
me are,
look
like, halved.
to be in bad shape, like they haven't been nourished well. I mean, still they've got that dwarven constitution, but they're not exactly up to fighting shape.
And the 2 on me are damaged pretty
I
good.
honestly just think it would be funny to hit him with a fireball.
Do
No,
do
Depends what you want to do,
Go
Bill.
for it.
All right.
All right, go ahead and roll your damage. I'll roll their saves.
32.
Oh, well, even with saves, they're dead. You saved. Actually, no, wait. Slate's not dead. He's at full hit points. So Slate's not dead, but everyone else in that group is. So Slate is held and he's on fire and burning as his beautiful beard and eyebrows go up in flames. And he has taken a lot of damage, but he is still up, but held. Does not break the hold.
I kind of feel like it wasn't even like a malicious thing on his part. It was just like all of a sudden Stoltheim just unleashed the fireball, and he's like, "Ah!"
We can talk afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
If anyone's still left alive on either side.
Leaving Scrimbleshanks. So Scrimbleshanks, Slate, who is obviously held in place because he's not making moves to pat the fires off himself. And there are two that are attacking Stoltheim. Anything you want to do?
Yeah, I guess I will support the rest of my party doing so. I got nothing special to do except go and attack with my longsword.
Okay.
Longsword.
You're going to help Stoltheim then and attack?
Yeah, so I'll get the ones which.
Yeah. Go for it.
Good old Stoltheim. Here we are. Yeah, have they got better than AC8?
They don't wear armor, so that hits. 6 points of damage. Okay, so you kill one that was badly burned. You run him through.
Oh, well,
okay.
I feel good about life.
Leaving just one left on Stoltheim, and I am going to make a roll here.
Roll check.
Eat.
I have no idea where the royal table is in the tent.
Yep, give me just a second. I've got it. So an 8.
I think nothing happens.
No, he's a trained warrior, so nothing happens. So he continues his attack on Stoltheim.
Ooh.
So he's badly burned, but he lifts up this nasty old, nearly broken pickaxe and takes a swipe at Stolte. Ooh, what's your AC?
6.
Yeah, he hits you. He takes a 5.
Mm-hmm.
All right, still doesn't do a lot of damage though.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, he's a dwarf. He's got some strength behind the hit. 3 points of damage. It was it was just like just kind of scores your cheek a little bit. It would have not done much at all, but he kind of leaned his shoulders into it to really get that in there. Dug a trough of flesh off your cheek.
He does that, and I imagine the Ring of Regeneration, because
Yeah.
it's the next round. It just starts stitching. I just stare at him.
Okay, so that is round. So Stoltheim, D6 for your side.
Yeah. Pow! 2. Roll a 1. Damn it.
Yeah, it goes first. I'm going to say he's not stupid.
Even as to the contrary.
Yeah, he notices the scar start to heal on Stoltheim. He looks around. He sees his brethren are just in these smoking piles of bone and ash. Slate is still on fire and burning and just kind of frozen there and can't move. He drops his pickaxe and just starts swearing in Dwarvish.
Okay.
Oh my god. That's anatomically impossible. Stop that.
No, Scrimbleshanks should be saying, he's casting!
If it's our turn, I'm going to do something.
Well, Ragnar was casting.
Yeah,
so.
that was his action was basically to surrender. He just throws his pickaxe down and starts swearing. Although it's in Dwarvish, so Scrimbleshanks might say something otherwise.
As I said, those things are anatomically impossible. That's my only comment, because I mean he was swearing, not saying I surrender. So
exactly, yeah. So what do you guys do?
I go over and cast Cure Serious on Slate.
Okay, so you put the fires out, pat him down, put the fires out. All right, yeah, go ahead. He's down to 2 hit points.
Okay, I give him at least 4. 6.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He's still held though, but yeah, you heal him up.
Yeah, I can unhold him, but for the moment I don't feel like it. What the hell, Sunline? What the hell?
They are going to prevent a danger to this dragon and possibly piss the dragon off that is right on the cornerstone of our property line. The best course of action would be to heed the dragon's words, fulfill our contract, and possibly have a powerful ally.
That doesn't mean you blow up the dwarves.
So we're not technically out of initiative yet. Is Scrimbleshanks going to shank anyone, or is Radnar gonna finish blazing off a few?
I mean, we don't have anyone fighting us anymore.
No.
Okay.
That's right. That doesn't necessarily stop us. We're PCs.
Green Company diplomacy, I declare, slitting the throats of. No,
Yeah.
But if you do it, it's not Green Company.
Yeah.
I've read the handbook.
Yeah. So there you go. That's
No,
page 4.
I'm not going to attack anybody there.
Okay, so if everyone is just getting out of the initiative, then you can just talk. The one just harumps and sits down and grabs a loaf of very scorched bread and continues to eat as he looks scornfully at Skulltime.
So you're eating our food after you've tried to attack us, right? I get it. Fine.
He offers you the charcoal briquette of a piece of bread.
No,
You want
don't
it
let
back?
me deprive you of the food from my mouth. No.
Yeah, okay.
It looks like
agreed
dwarves
not
don't honor contracts.
not to bring a fight to the dragon. We agreed. I say, staring at Slate. We agreed this. You're not going back on that.
And this is more than just the dwarves benefiting. There's innocent people that live nearby this hold, and it could be collateral damage. I have to look out for my people.
Oh, suddenly it's the royal we from Stoltheim. Well,
That's why I
you
did
don't
it.
know
I'm
if he's
thinking about
agreeing to this or not, as he's still being held.
Yeah, he is.
Being lectured
I
at
can-
for the next
I'm
9
basically
minutes.
going to be lecturing at him for a while on the importance of keeping up this sort of thing. Of don't attack dragons.
Yeah.
The dragon's going to kick your ass without looking. You come to it. We can make an arrangement, and it just spouting on about taking a very high road, which is completely, utterly probably going to go. He's going to be ignoring as hard as he can. But for the moment, I expect the rest of the party to ignore pretty much going the high road as well. Galen himself will ignore the high road when it's convenient. So it's not like.
Okay.
But for the moment,
If you're actually trying to convince him, somebody make me a charisma roll. And I'll give you bonuses for everybody that's trying to throw in a little bit as to why this is a bad
don't
idea.
know if Stuttelheim is really.
I failed.
Okay.
We
You
have
make you
three
plead your
rerolls
case
still?
to the very stony-faced dwarf who can't
Oh.
even blink.
Do we actually contribute bonuses? Do I contribute negatives? Because I mean, that's only 2 points, and if
I don't think did Scrimbleshanks say anything as part of the conversation.
I
If he did, I'm definitely throwing
guess,
those negatives
I guess
in there.
not that bit. No, I mean, he did. I mean, the bit before when we were talking about contracts and stuff.
Yeah,
but
nah.
I guess
No, this is good. That's good.
Wait, do
Okay.
we still have rerolls? As far as I know, we still have
We,
three.
yeah, I mean, we haven't done anything since you were last
What?
here.
You know,
so-
I'm gonna reroll.
Okay.
If we want to get this guy to be more amenable to us, I've got an idea.
Someone else charisma
Even
check.
worse.
Right. Now, keep in mind, I mean, your characters don't know that this is falling on deaf ears. You know, even though you know because you failed the roll, your characters don't know. You made your best case.
Maybe.
But Radnar's got something he wants to add in there.
He wants a charm person, is what he wants.
I'm gonna take out a pipe that I have, and I'm gonna take out some of the stuff I got from that dude in the spaceship, and I'm gonna light it up, and then I'm gonna pass it to him.
Which he can't do
Well,
anything about
he's
because
still
he's held.
held. Yeah.
He
Oh,
can breathe though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Can he?
yep. Got that.
Does he
He's
need to?
paralyzed. He's
Yeah,
paralyzed for the
yeah.
next move.
Yeah, you can still breathe and perform normal bodily functions. You just can't move your limbs and such.
You're
So
an
we
ape
can hold the
yourself
pipe
if you agree
up
with our
and-
plans.
Yeah.
he can hold the pipe up and have him pull from it. So
Yeah.
then he'll be able
Okay.
to
Yeah.
read
There's
his
all kinds
thoughts.
of ways we can do that.
Okay.
Just kind of get.
So
him-
what's your end result here? What do you want to get from this?
I just want to get him to the point to where he'll like talk to us. Perhaps I'm unaware that he is held. I don't know.
Oh no, it's obvious that he's held. I mean,
Okay.
yeah,
This is Radnar we're talking about. so-
it's obvious.
Well, isn't that the magic like space weed that makes you be able to telepathically communicate?
It's one of the effects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's up to Galen whether or not he's releasing Slate or letting the spell run its course first. because he literally cannot answer you at this point. So
As far as I'm aware, the only way I can negate paralysis is to cast anti-paralysis on him,
you can end
which
your
I
spell.
can do.
Yeah, well, you can
Well,
end
no.
your spell too, so that's up to you.
Okay, after I've ranted him about the contract and not killing the dragon, I'll let him.
But before you do that, Dion brought up a good point. The weed does allow for a limited form of communication, so I'm going to say that's enough for Radnar to read surface thoughts. He ain't buying it. He's going to turn you guys in as kin killers, and he is going to report to his thane that there is a mountain of mithril and ancient dwarven artifacts in these hills. I mean, it's surface thoughts. You can definitely tell that.
I'm really sad. I wish there was a way we could.
You're also high as a kite, so you're going to be at -1 to your rolls for the next little bit as well.
All right. It happens. No, I mean, I'm going to communicate sadness and a strong desire to work something out with him.
Okay, make me a charisma check.
All right.
Just you, no bonuses or negatives from anyone else.
Charisma,
mind to mind.
My charisma is 14.
And as it is mind to mind, Radnar cannot lie or deceive. You're basically just opening yourself up.
Okay.
So is that truly what Radnar believes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had nothing personal against this guy. It was like there was a fight on. We attacked them. They attacked us. I was participating.
All right.
And I rolled a 2. My charisma's 14.
Okay. It's a low success, but it is a success. You
You
sway him a bit, and he is duty bound to his thane that he has to report what they found, because that was their whole mission here. He doesn't have to report that his kin were slain by you, although he does hold a grudge about it, because you're the one who offered, you're the one who offered harm first. But he doesn't have to say that his kin were killed by you, just that they were killed in the battle here. He has to report about what they found, because that's their job. And he can put in his own bit saying, look, the dragon said that there was an ancestral pact made, that there was signed agreements. He's willing to add that in. He's willing to state the case that it's probably not in the best interest of anyone and could cause instability in the region if the dragon were to be attacked.
I mean, I think that's probably a pretty decent outcome.
Yep.
And I mean, I think that if, I mean, others can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think we could even be persuaded to put in a good word for them with the dragon if they decide not to just up and attack him.
Okay.
The dragon being someone that like goes by formality. If we approach it in that way, then it's more likely to have a better outcome for the dwarves.
Let me do a time out here for a second. Yep. Since Scrimbleshanks speaks Dwarven, that also means Scrimbleshanks understands Dwarven society, Dwarven custom. Okay. Given the amount of wealth and especially ancient Dwarven works that are purported to be here, you don't think there's any chance that they won't attack this fast. It's just in their nature. It would be it would take a very enlightened king or thane to not try.
Oh well.
Okay. So that's out of that's just what Scrimbleshanks knows about the Dwarven culture. Right now, Radnar has not yet told anyone what he's found out with his mental communication. So let's go back to that. All right. So he agrees that, look, best he can do is to say that you were not the reason that these dwarves died, but he still has to report back.
So I'll fill in the rest of my companions in between, like, stoned giggles.
Yeah.
That this is what we've kind of come up with, and I said I don't know that we're going to get a better outcome out of this. Our only other alternative would be just to kill him. And I don't think
mean,
anybody really wants to do that.
honestly, that might be the better thing if they never report back. I don't know, because then they're just going to send out another set. And
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
the dwarves, they're greedy individuals. I've never traveled with a dwarf myself, but I understand from all the things that they would come and just try and seize this with great rapidity.
Yep. Scrimbleshanks, make me an intelligence check, please.
Oh dear. Yeah. I said, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
well,
fine.
There we go.
This is in the Duke's land. Would the dwarves... Basically, I'm trying to think, can we get the Duke or someone to try and at least set up some sort of, lack of a better term, neutral arbiter to try and go between them to try and set something out before it gets as far
I mean,
as
that's probably us.
war?
Yeah, I mean,
well, I don't think it'll be us for very good reasons out of what just happened here.
Yeah. I mean, certainly you could.
We're neutral.
It's just a matter of who's going to mobilize first. Like, if you let Slate go now, is he going to be back? Is he going to get back to the Dwarven Hold, and they're going to mobilize before you can get word back to Stefan? Or, that's the question. That's the question.
We gotta kill him. Table talk. We gotta kill him.
Is anybody here of good alignment or lawful alignment? I should say.
Yeah, I am.
Oh,
yeah.
How?
Because
lawful's not necessarily good, by the way. It just means that you have a preponderance to follow laws. You are very structured in your thinking.
I mean,
doesn't necessarily mean you're good.
I mean, I think we have proved we are neutral to the conflict itself.
Yeah,
we got them out of the place, away from the dragon, so we're not on the dragon side. And then when they tried to attack the dragon, we defended the dragon. So I mean, we are a neutral party in this. I think we can be argued. So it might be us who is put up for this. I don't know, but I mean, I thought I may be vaguely imposing my beliefs on this from 2-3 weeks ago, whenever it was, when we were last thinking about this thing. That we were talking to the dragon and like saying, "Hey, you can come in and investigate the ancient machinery and learn its ancient designs again, dwarves." I don't know if that is something we set up or something I was just thinking in my mind at the time and meant to say out loud, but for some reason
I think we ran out of
didn't use my outside voice that time.
Like that done.
Weird.
What? So Scrimbleshanks actually has an inside voice?
Apparently so. He's discovering new things about himself all the time.
The only thing I can think of in terms of immediate thing, and would give it that sort of time frame, is that when he goes off, because he's going to go off to a Thane no matter what, unless we kill him. So perhaps if we go to the dragon, try and set something up right now that we can then take to the Thane, or at least meet the army part way and say, "Hey, we've arranged this deal."
So the GM is out of coffee, so a grudge monster might be incoming. Just saying.
Oh, somebody getting some coffee quick.
Yeah, the best thing we can do is go and talk to the dragon right now and try and arrange something along those lines of what you were saying, Scrimbleshanks.
Well, he's going to be held for over an hour if you don't release him. So
I have released him.
Oh, you have released him. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Once I ranted at him about the nature of we were not going to go back on the deal of fighting the dragon, all that sort of stuff, contract, which we failed in the rolls and all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
I released him.
Well, then he will go to the other remaining dwarf, and they're having a discussion. They're having it out. Scrimbleshanks. So he's basically saying, "Look, you need to be quiet about this. We're going to tell the Thane what you saw. We'll let the Thane decide what to do. But
because we also want to deal with
doesn't need to know what happened here." Let me make a roll.
Yeah, because we also want to deal with the dwarves later on to get them to mine our stuff.
Okay.
Nah. We'll get the dragon to cast charm on dwarves which come over here.
So Scrimbleshanks, you're overhearing this, and the other dwarf is non-committal. Slate's telling him what needs to be done, and the other dwarf is just kind of just non-committal about the whole thing.
Yeah, well, I will inform the rest. Hey, doesn't sound like it's going well.
Mm. So we're supposed to be getting back to Penhalion and helping them take out the mall.
Yeah. So what do you guys want to do? Slade's calmed down, and he seems to be placating the surviving dwarf, who doesn't look like he's having a lot of it, but isn't actively saying no either. Or
Because he
doesn't
knows
look
we can just wipe them out without looking, to be honest.
He ain't stupid.
We are. But don't worry, so that's not your problem.
Hold on just a second, guys. Be right back.
Oh, well. What another fine mess you've gotten us into.
Listen,
You know what's interesting, Stolte, is I was gonna fireball him if you hadn't.
it was the
Yeah.
first time Stoltheim was like, I'm gonna be violent, because he like literally is looking at this like this is gonna do major collateral damage to the area and to our hold, like, because we're right there. I'm like, we don't want some pissed off ancient dragon that can mind control people, dwarves, let alone with huge spell saves. Like, this thing's powerful. Like, I don't think we should kill it. It didn't seem like it would have killed us already if it wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know?
All right. Did you guys come to some kind of decision about things?
I
Oh, I see that Galen has wandered off. So,
really think we need to kill them. I think they have to die. This is gonna end bad if they go back and tell him, oh, there's a huge fault with riches and all this, and then all of a sudden the dwarven army's on our doorstep. Like, let alone watch Penhalion see a huge regiment of dwarves go there and get wiped out by a dragon, and then Penhalion goes and tries and take a dragon out. And
yeah. So honestly, the only person that would have maybe an issue with this, Radnar being a lawful persuasion on your alignment, the dwarf has not been given a trial, has not been given, just an execution without.
Radnar said he was gonna fireball them if I didn't. To be fair, so
Yeah, but that's in the heat of battle.
Yeah, it's the heat of battle. I'm not saying you have to act that way. I'm just saying if anybody might dissent against this, it might be Radnar. Of course, you might also determine that is the lawful course to take, because it would be preventing much more bloodshed if
The
armies were to
greater
clash.
good.
Yeah, that's kind of
Greater good.
We also have no idea what the Thane's going to do if no one reports back.
I was going to say, it's
there's
just
that.
kicking the can down the road, probably. They're going to come back and with more people to investigate what's going on.
We tell the dragon and convince the dragon to move out.
The dragon's got a vault with so much gold.
That
And we have a bargaining chip to align
What?
with the dragon.
What's the bargaining chip?
You're gonna get a dwarven army coming after you, and you're not strong enough.
Lunch
That's not
on
a
wheels.
bargaining
What are you
chip.
talking about? The dragon won't
like-
care about a dwarven army.
The guy, yeah, I don't know.
I
We
mean,
can tell him. The most we can do is go back, negotiate, and tell him this is gonna happen if we let them go. That's like our plan. Because I don't think we want to ignore him, and plus I'm sure he can still hear us up here. So
I thought he was listening in through the dwarves that he'd charmed, but I mean, maybe they have great hearing. I don't know much about dragons. Oh, all right. Well, you guys go over there and discuss everything, and I will go over here and I will regale the dragon with tales of stuff. I can't shut off his hearing from here. That's great. I don't know.
Scrimble Shanks, the organic noise making.
Yep. Block all kinds of hearing related problems.
Exactly. Okay, so yeah, it's late afternoon. You won't be able to make it back to either your holding or certainly not any further before nightfall. Yeah.
I mean, if we're going to go in there and talk to the dragon, I say we take the dwarves in with us so that they can hear what we're saying. and they won't get a head start on leaving
Why would the dwarves go with? Are we taking them in at sword point?
because we outnumber them and can
Are
kill
we
them
taking
easily.
them in at sword point? Yeah. That's basically taking them in at sword
I
point.
mean, if that is the way they want to do it, then yeah. Look, we're going into the dragon. We need you to come with us.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, I mean, they're not going to disagree, as you say. You outnumber them,
we've got double their numbers.
and one of
So
them is
maybe
badly
Maybe
injured.
we can have a
Yeah.
talk with the dragon that we always meant to do at the end of last session, but ran out of time.
Yeah, there's that. So, is that the plan? You want to go back and
I
talk
think
to the dragon then?
Yeah. Stolt, Rednor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
seems good. I
sounds
mean,
good
at
to
least
me.
he'll know, like, all right, there's a chance that the dwarves might come after me, but we did our part and are holding our end of the bargain and showing good
Yeah.
faith towards a giant fucking dragon.
All right. So you guys go back, and you're greeted by one of the dragon's servants that have, they got slightly draconic features, definitely humanoid,
Oh.
but they seem to be a
He had
mix.
actual
There weren't
servants
any
that
here
are dwarves?
Yeah, you haven't seen this before, so
Oh.
I'm gonna move.
Do any of us speak Draconic, Bert?
I do.
Bill, I think.
Bill does.
Big draconic, yeah.
And leads you
Hey, man.
to a different part of the fortress than you saw before. This is definitely of dwarven make, and it's a tavern. It's a cozy little tavern that they've set up. They got a fire going, and it's been cleaned out, and it's the best place to have a little talk. So you were all brought here. Here, this is.
I'm suspicious that we got sort of miniatures and that this seems like a gridded.
I just like to say props to whoever made this map. It's a nice one.
Means nothing. It means
I
nothing.
definitely don't see the transparent enemies on Bert's screen.
Yep, absolutely you don't. All right, so this is the servant. The servant looks something a cross between a humanoid, but it's scaly. It has a bit of protruding snout.
Is it a
Cool.
dragonborn?
That's what the miniature is, but there's no such thing in this world. So.
Okay.
Say, not
The
till
dragon had sex with a
third,
human,
fourth
and that's what
edition.
happened.
I put it on the wrong layer, token layer. There we go. All right. Yep. So brings you into this part of the fortress that's obviously part of the original dwarven fortress, and bids you wait for his master, and serves you off these barrels of dwarven ale that's still good, hasn't turned bad over these hundreds and hundreds of years, as they are kept in magical oaken barrels.
See what you would have missed out on, Slate.
Grudgingly accept it. It's like, oh, well.
Can imagine the look on his face when he takes a sip of the
Yeah.
good shit.
It's like, oh, how low we've come.
See, talking to people usually pays off.
Yep.
Sometimes they even listen back.
So as Slate's looking around, there are tapestries hung in this bar. They seem to play out a history of the dwarven clan that lived here. And he starts perusing the different tapestries as he drinks his beer, trying to figure out more of the lore of this place.
I hate to see your tapestries.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Let's see here. Give me a second.
Well, I mean, that is a story, and that is a lot of why Scrimbleshanks is out investigating things. So
Okay, yeah.
I
so
will
you're
go
gonna
over
figure
and
out-
look at the tapestries with him.
And you understand dwarven culture, so you're the best person to do it anyway.
I'll make up my own interpretations of what's going on
Yeah,
there
I'm not saying
anyway.
I'm just. But you got more chance of understanding it than any of us. Hey.
True enough.
Now, if this was a forest, I might have some idea.
So eventually, Azure does come in. I'm just using the token of a dragon just to represent Azure, but is in a human form. There we go. Yeah, and draws its own beverage and sits at the table. Notices that you're down several dwarves, and one of them seems to be a little scorched with lots of burns.
Both of them have been.
I was taken aback by a moment and says, "Well, I mean, if you were simply going to slay them, you could have let them continue on in their toiling.
I mean, that wasn't the plan.
There was a misunderstanding, and we had to be a little diplomatic.
I see. Well, while you were being diplomatic, I found these. Might be very interested to see them, and he hands them to the dwarf. They're spell scrolls. They're metal containers that you would put like scrolls in. And he taps one out and unrolls it. And instead of it being like parchment, it's actually thinly beaten gold rolled up, and he unrolls it, and it's a contract. And he peruses it. It's an ancient dwarven symbolism, and he's reading through it. He has to pause, and he has to confer with his kin now and then, as it's very old dwarven printed language, and they're conferring over the contract. And you will see, this was a very simple contract made between your forebears and the great work that they were hired to do on my behalf. And as you can see, he kind of points on there, the last part of the contract, it's still unfulfilled. So by my estimation, if you are claiming kinship with the dwarves that once lived here, you owe me some servitude still.
I mean, surely that expires after a certain amount of time.
You have to look at the contract and understand it. I am not capable of that.
Yep.
Actually, no, I do have a reason. I have average intelligence.
I was going to say, I believe in you.
Actually, they get done perusing it, and they say, "Well, if there is a direct lineage of kinship to the clan that did possess this holding, then I would say you are correct, Dragon. However, that's yet to be proven. We still have to go back and tell the Thane the things we've seen here." And the dragon's like, "Oh, of course. Once you have figured things out, I would like the great work to resume, of course. And if it is sadly come that the descendants of this clan have withered and that branch of dwarven constitution has declined and died over the many, many years, then perhaps a new contract is in order, as I still need the work to be finished."
Using my amazing knowledge of dwarven culture, etc., does this change anything with this? Is the Thane still going to respond in the same manner, or will he be honor bound?
I will give you another roll on this. You failed the last one, okay, for what I was kind of going to getting at this. You rolled a 19 on that last.
Yeah, I didn't think that was that. Okay.
Yeah.
I will
you were specifically asking about what this resolves around. So go ahead and give me the roll.
Yeah. Success.
All right. So while they are very avaricious, they are also very true to their word, and their word means more than gold, more than mithril. They are really good at finding ways around contracts, but they will adhere to what they contracted to do if they cannot find a way out of it.
Having a perusal over and probably sort of whispering to one of the more intelligent people around is sort of, what's the payment on that, and would the payment have gone up in the meantime?
Yep.
Just thinking,
so you can't read Dwarven?
A lot of the vault.
Yeah. So you can't read Dwarven, so you have no idea what the contract says.
No. Yeah, well, I can actually just sort of say, what's the payment on this? Is that going to go up over the time? Can you charge most of the vault if you need to do it?
Yeah. The dwarf says, well, yes, of course. The value went up over time. I am fine paying that amount of interest. Once I know, well, what is the date? How long has it been since the work proceeded till now?
Mm-hmm.
Interest,
compound interest. Yeah.
Well, the dwarves kind of relate. They kind of talk back and forth in Dwarvish, and then Slate will answer like, well, our genealogists can figure out how long time has passed.
Is there not a date on the contract?
On that. There is, but the dating system is not the same.
Right, yeah, but it might be one that we could find out.
Yeah.
rather than relying on genealogy.
I'm going to say Scrimbleshanks can read it well enough. I mean, it is filled with kind of lawyerese, and it is very old dwarvish, but you get the general gist of it. Is that the
Words,
entire
terms, and
yeah.
things that I don't understand.
Yeah, the entire dwarven fastness was hired to create some kind of device, and its construction would span many dwarven generations.
I'm not saying Redner would know, but the magician's probably thing would probably have a really good handle on different dates over time and stuff.
Yeah.
because
Yeah, but
being the
sure,
more
you guys
historical-minded guild.
you guys
it
can
be done.
reference it out, but it's certainly not going to
Yeah.
be anything that anyone knows just off the top of your heads.
I remember my day when that sort of thing happened.
Yeah.
I'm not that long-lived an elf.
We know, and the device doesn't specify what it does. It's just like referred to as the device
In the contract,
in
yes.
the contract.
Yeah.
Oh, have you got blueprints for the device?
I mean,
I have very specific needs for each part of the device. I'm sure they're in the
David,
vaults.
Did they get finished?
you can just say, what does it do? Please
Well,
tell me the mechanical nature of this device.
I'm afraid I can't do that. It's a very private endeavor, you see.
Don't mean anyone else. You could probably tell me my thoughts just immediately. It's been a long, lonely time as a dragon. Not a lot of other dragons around.
But I am quite proud of the work that has gone into it. I would be honored if you'd like to view what has been accomplished in the time that the clan that sadly appears to have gone from this phase of existence has completed, and to see how much work is yet to be done.
Well, if you don't mind, we're here for the night because we're not going to get anywhere else.
Of course, and if you, talking to Slate, need to go back and explain the contract to your Thane, you might want to see how much work is yet to be done yourself. Just to know the scope of what is yet to be done. It may be that your current lineage is not up to the task, perhaps. Yes, Slate
Oh.
looks a little offended at that. But then he noted. But then he looks down at the beer that he's cradling. He's like, might be some truth to that. Okay, yeah. So if you want to see the great work, okay. He takes you down deep into what was the dwarven fortress, and you can see where literally they delved too deep, and that's likely how they encountered the dragon in the first place, because there's a vast cavern beneath what is obviously the end of where the dwarves their stronghold ended. There's a network of caverns, and then you see the construction. The construction is massive. There's gantries built so that top parts of it can be worked on. There is large smelting furnaces set up that they're cold. They're not been used in a very long time. All kinds of machinery, including what to the players would look like mech suits. Like a dwarf would sit inside of it, and the suit would have like essentially like soldering arms and to do heavy mechanical work. And to the normal residents of Mystara at the time, it would not make a lot of sense. To the player characters, some of you have seen such ships before. And that's what it is. It's a gigantic mithril spacefaring vessel.
Dear God.
A spaceship?
Rednor and I have both encountered spaceships before.
It's not nearly as big as the one
Oh.
you guys played through, but it is still large. It's very large.
It's not leaking out the bad stuff into the atmosphere, is it?
Considering Radnar was part of all that, Radnar, you probably shift into your magical vision to check just that.
Yeah.
No, there is no
Oh, I can do
leakage
it.
of that. Yeah, no leakage of that odd power.
Okay.
I feel like that scene in Crocodile Dundee when he says, "That's not a knife. This is a knife."
Yep.
Hmm.
So there you go. It looks like the outer shell was near completion, but there are large gaps in the side where you can see the interior hasn't. Mostly, it's just structure, and a lot of stuff hasn't been completed yet. Slate oohs and ahs at the construction suits. It's like,
Grandma and I think about, I've seen that this was done better back in the other one. You remember that? Yeah, it was better there. Yeah. I think it's actually I'm missing the thing here. Yeah.
I mean, if you are saying that, even in a jokey manner, I mean, that information might be valuable.
Yeah, so they had. The only thing I remember is they had basically food replicators on these large food stores or something. And
Well,
they
I
did
mean,
have engines. And they had gold. Have you got a goal on here to fix your engines if something goes wrong?
oh well, I'm still working out the requirements of the fuel source for my vessel. I'll need several more years, decades of research to get it worked out just so.
May I suggest you talk to the majors over in, I can't remember the name of the place. Basically, they built a college on top of the ship, so I can name that college.
Oh, have you progressed that far?
That's sitting on top of a ship, another ship like this.
Oh,
Yeah.
another ship, you say?
Yeah.
Interesting. I thought my kind had. Interesting.
I've just seen a ship like this before. That's all I know. It was bigger though. This one's tiny.
May I? The dragon reaches forward with the spindly fingers. Any geographic reference you give me is going to be of no use to me now, since things have changed so much. May I see the image in your head?
Galen doesn't really have much clue about this sort of thing. Sure.
Make me a con check.
Average con. Average con. Woo, go average con. Massive.
Oh my gosh.
Eek.
Okay, so you the dragon.
We have rerolls, don't we?
You do.
I'm going to use a reroll, I think.
Okay.
At least not to try and get a massive failure. At least.
Okay.
But you could have turned into a dragon somehow.
It's a failure, but it's not a massive.
It's not
failure.
a critical failure. Okay.
Okay, that I'll take.
So the dragon approaches you in its bipedal form, and its fingers, as it goes to touch your face, they elongate, and the ends kind of get like sucker-like pads as it covers your face gently. And there's a flash. It's like all of your memories about the place, what you saw there, where it is. Actually, even things you didn't think about, like looking to the sky and seeing the placement of the stars above the place. It's all just rifled through like an index. What you guys are seeing is that Galen just kind of goes mute for a moment, and there's a small trickle of blood that starts coming out of his nose, out of his ears. Looks fine. Doesn't look like he's under distress at all, other than the blood freely flowing
coming out of his nose and his eyes.
He's an elf. He might do that sort of thing anyway.
Yeah.
You never know.
It's completely normal for an elf.
Is it coming out of every pore, every hole in his body?
Ears and nose. And then it lasts for a few moments when he lets go Galen.
Probably slumps.
It doesn't really matter. How many hit points do you have right now? You're not down a lot, are you?
No, I'm at full. I've got 30.
Okay, you're fine. I mean, yeah, it does some damage to you, but the dragon notices. It's like, oh, I'm very sorry. I thought your physical form could handle a bit more than that. Allow me, and basically heals the damage that was done. For a moment there's a strong smell of burnt toast.
Ooh, have a drink.
Yes. Interesting. That is not a design that my people have created. This intrigues me and worries me. Tell me, have you? I'm going to create an image. Please understand, I'm telling you this ahead of time, so that you know it's an image. It is not something to be fearful of, or please do not anticipate this as an attack upon your person. But I need to show you something.
Are you putting it into his mind, or you're creating
No. I'm going to
outline
create it just
so
out
we
of the
can all see
ambient light here, so you can all see.
Okay.
Okay, so it creates. The players, because I don't want to describe the thing. It creates an image of an illithid.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wearing a suit very much like the suit you saw in the spacecraft you were in.
Okay.
Has this creature, is it known to you?
We know of it.
But it's not something that is currently a problem
No.
to your realm. Nothing that
No.
you're. Well, okay.
It's all in the history. There's that temple over there, which is that guardian that we need to delve into at some point. Yeah.
Well,
It's
no,
got
that's
these
good. That's
portals.
good. Either that craft sustained enough damage where those aboard were all killed, or they're still in stasis. Otherwise, they would be ruling this realm at this point. I don't wish to be condescending or assuming any less intellect in your persons than is warranted, but these creatures have the ability to change their forms. They can resemble just about any form they wish, of roughly the same size and taking up the same amount of mass and space. But tell me, amongst your cities, you all still have cities, large conglomerations of your populations in single places? Yes. Okay.
Mhm.
Is it common for you to find bodies of your populace sans the material between their ears? Is this a no? Not a thing.
It's
Not a thing. Not a thing.
generally-
Good. Not a thing.
Finding bodies, yep, without their brains. Less.
That's not what
Bodies
I
all
said.
fine.
Why you
said
think it might be?
Is it common for people in cities to have less between their ears than? Oh, wait, I'm surprised you didn't say yes there. What else?
Well, that's good. That's good. It seems that they have not become a menace then. Either all died on impact or are still safely in stasis. That's good.
I mean, are you saying these things, illithids, would eat brains? I mean, would they eat lots of brains? If there was one person out there, how many brains are we talking they would need to eat in a?
Well, if you simply have a small handful, you likely, as you state, may not have even noticed. But if they were in force in your lands,
Right,
it would be unmistakable.
Okay.
Yes.
Fine.
Because we have had them around the country before. And I can describe that temple that's in Karamikos. So they did exist at some point in the past, but they're just not common. As far as we're aware, they're not a thing at the moment.
Well, perhaps your predecessors did combat with them and slew this problem, as they are well, they find worlds such as yours capable of sustaining intelligent life, and they farm it like gardeners. Intelligent species are both the sustenance and technology for them. They have many uses, and there are not that many of these planets with enough intelligent life for them to be interested in. Perhaps only a small number of them survived their establishment here, and your forebears were able to take care of them. You seem to be enough with the forces. Again, I don't wish to belittle any efforts that you have. You seem to be well competent in the slaying. Yes.
And we don't have any common tales of them either, so they completely passed from common knowledge.
Yep.
Yes, I'm saying that they've passed from common knowledge at the moment. So whatever we did to them was so long ago, we don't remember them.
Honestly, I believe Radnar has the largest intelligence ability score. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Make me a check.
All right.
Fig Jam had more,
I
but
have-
Fig Jam apparently decided to do something with that.
Yeah.
I have
Stoltheim,
one
you
below.
can't because you're not of this realm. This isn't
Fair.
your. Yeah, this is a history thing. Oh,
Woo!
Yeah.
that's a failure.
Can I
That's
just
a-
reroll
that's a
them? Do we
big
have a
failure.
One reroll.
I don't know. Do you guys want me
Do
to
it.
use it
It,
for
it's
that?
not
Do
really. It's up to you, but it's not really worth it.
Okay, then I'm not going to take it. Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's
Ragnar's
the
never.
GM telling you that. Don't believe his lies.
We'll find out otherwise. If it was important,
Ragnar
I'm sure.
doesn't remember any specific lore or history pertaining to these creatures. Yeah.
We are rolling crap at the moment. So, as usual.
Eh,
Slate is oohing and eyeing over the mechanized suits, looking them over. It's like, oh, this is fantastic.
I want to climb us on and say, get away from him, you bitch.
This would multiply a dwarf's work manyfold. Look at the craftsmanship.
Does it look like the sort of thing your ancestors did?
Of course. Look, here's the clan stamp.
Oh, so you are related to them then?
Well, I know the stamp. That's how we
Ah.
discovered this place on ancient maps showing the symbol of a clan.
Okay.
Can you build me one of these now?
The best amongst us, if given one to take apart, or perhaps the instructions on how to build one could, I believe. Oh, he would require some. And he looks around at the foundries that are here. Well, everything needed is here.
So it's just the knowledge you've lost, not the skill.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, much was lost.
That is why you should have oral storytellers like me to pass along all the information. You should always listen to people
Exactly.
like me.
All right. So the dragon Azure sweeps the hand around and says, and as you see, there is much still to be completed. The interiors are particularly painstaking efforts must be made there. Only the best artisans would be up to this task. And there are certain elements, certain magical artifacts that I need to acquire for the power source as well. And but this information, Galen Rayhorn, I believe your name is from your thoughts. The place that you visited may have what I need, sparing me many decades of research and travels. I believe I will speak to these mages of yours. Tell me, how do your peoples deal with dragons?
Infrequently.
This form, suitable enough. I would not be overly conspicuous.
Redner, you're a mage.
Yes, I am.
Ragnar would
no,
like to
no, no.
dissect this form in front of him.
Well, he's gonna be talking to mages. I don't know. How does he approach one of you lot?
Well, I wouldn't show up in dragon form because people are likely to freak out and try to attack you, and that's not what anyone wants.
This form, I understand the populace here had great histories about dragons. That is not my true form either. It's the battle form that we use when necessary, but it's not my true form.
What is your true form?
I'm afraid showing it to you may cause more consternation than is worth the effort.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, you're
admittedly,
dealing
most
with an
of-
elder god.
Yeah. But most of the dragons we deal with are less verbose and more sort of claws. Breathe
Yes,
fast.
the creatures that you call dragons were our protective force.
We got to go deal with them later on. In fact,
We created them as, again, it is the battle form that my race uses, but we created a a simpler form here, which became dragons in your histories, I believe.
So are you
Very good.
say you've looked over Galen's memories, right? Have you seen all of Galen's memories? Or
Just the ones that
relevant?
he allowed, just the relevant ones. I would not impose
But
upon
you're-
his memories.
But if I use the term pet or guard dog, you would understand that as a thing. Is that what
Oh,
you're
yes,
suggesting
yes.
that dragons are?
Oh,
for you?
yes, that is a very
Alright.
good semblance.
Do you think that deep down within the descendants of your guard dogs, there would be commands that they would still obey? Because we have
Absolutely.
to go and deal with a particular one. So, I mean, if we were to stand there and go, sit,
You
would that work?
understand how your animals breed and exchange traits. I'm sure that your farmers and your agriculturalists understand this. The forms that we created, the Draco form, would pass along at a very intricate level. These commands, yes, any form that now you call dragons should still be controllable.
Hmm.
Well, we might be in the market for those control words.
Well, for your information that your friend Galen Rayhorn here provided me, I can give you a simple symbol that we would give to all the dwarves working that would allow them to pass without harm amongst our guardians.
Yeah, I've got around the elder signs.
Dwarf, Slate, was it? The chest to your left there. Yes. Bring me the medallions that are inside, please. And he brings them, and they're basically thin mithril chains that have a small amulet. And passes them out. It is not necessary that they be visible, just on your person. At any very intrinsic level, those creatures you call dragons should respond to this and not see you as a threat. Though if you offered injury to them, it may be enough, depending on how diluted the bloodline has become, it may be enough for them to override it. But if you were to leave them alone, they would leave you alone.
So
And of course,
carrying it is enough. What if you were to hang it over like a doorway or something? Would they be able to go through the doorway still?
No. Again, unless the structure offered them some sort of injury, they would leave it alone.
So if you covered every exit with one of these symbols, the thing would be trapped inside and wouldn't be able to leave?
Yes.
Even if it would starve to death?
Yes.
Hmm.
Though again, depending on how diluted the bloodline has become,
Yes, okay.
the starvation may be seen as an attack upon its person, and it may be able to override its instincts.
But by that point, it would be very weak anyway. Supposedly. All right.
I wonder if you could train one.
Yeah, but we have to deal with one.
Yep.
Yeah,
and just as a bit of fun, so for the players, the symbol is actually an elder sign.
Oh, nice.
Now, is it the star or the tree?
It's the tree. Looks like some branches.
It probably relates to my the symbol of my goddess is also a sort of a tree thing. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
And that demon was trapped in that tree as well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Maybe we learned a few things from the dragons way back in the past.
So he speaks to Slade and says, "So, do you have enough information to bring back to your current Thane to find out if the contract is still in force, if there is any of the bloodline left that this would adhere to, or failing that, a new contract perhaps can be forged?"
I mean, that's Slate you're asking. We're not Slate.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Slate just shrugs and says, I can only bring this back to my Thane and see what he has to say. Yes. And the dragon's like, you can have that. That's your copy.
If I may, if you're not actually a dragon, what does your kind call yourself?
It it is incomprehensible to your tongue.
Is there an
I'm
alternative?
sorry. If I were to let you experience any part of our true being, you understand that we exist in more than one space at a time. I don't know that your mind would come out of it unscathed. Yes, we are called Fred. No, I didn't know you guys could pronounce the F.
Interesting.
So what you're saying is that both Dion and Radnor should engage their magic sight to look at you.
Yeah, I've got magic sight too. I just don't use
Oh,
it.
you as well. All right, all three of you can go crazy down here. Then that's fine.
No,
Gaze upon your true being, or at least portions of your true being that
I'm
they can
so
see through
tempted
their
to do
limited
that.
sight.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not going to
There's
stop you.
into things that men are not meant to wot of. I'm not a man. I'm an elf, so I'm fine.
I mean, I'm just afraid that if I do it, I'm gonna end up being like permanently, functified.
Yeah.
You used to be a magical skull, but you got better from that.
That's true. It did.
I mean, not that I want you to do this and go crazy and insane. They cast mass dyspeptic powers on everybody here.
Well, I don't have it memorized, so we're good on that.
Yeah, you went
Just
through a
think
lot
if
of
you-
spells last session, so
If you
Yeah,
cast Master
so-
Detective Bells on this thing, how many what orifice where would it
yeah.
Wait a minute, he's not even over there. How are they going to come
It's a fourth dimensional orifice. Oh no!
But it'd be kind of cool if I did it and I didn't die or go permanently insane.
Up to you. If you want to do it.
Sure, fuck it.
I'm terrified. This is. Oh my God, Radnar! No! Oh no!
All right, so you need to roll as high as you can without failing for this, because it is using essentially spells to hide its true form.
Okay.
So what's he rolling against?
Saving throw?
So no, it's your intelligence.
Intelligence.
Yeah,
okay.
to kind of break through it. Like, so you go and you start looking magically in astral, and you can see that it's a facade, that it has something over it. But if you want to try to break through that to view what's behind it, make me an intelligence roll.
Okay.
18.
Here we go.
Ooh,
high success.
All right,
There we go. All right.
Okay. It looks like a ball of energy with kind of tentacles coming out of it. Is Radnar a particularly religious person?
No.
Okay, then that's what it looks like. Okay, now make me a wisdom check, and please don't fail it.
Please don't
You
fail.
have
I love
one
it.
reroll.
Love how you said that.
You have one reroll.
It might be
I think-
funny if you take it, but up to you.
Yeah, I think I should probably try. Sorry, guys.
You don't got the
No,
one
that's
reroll,
fine.
so you haven't got a lot of. You take what you get.
Yeah. So you're gonna take the fail, or are you gonna take the
Yeah, I'll
bad
take the
reroll?
fail.
You're gonna take the fail.
Yeah.
Roll me a d10.
You lose that many same points.
7. All right.
Ooh.
So for the next 7 turns or 70 minutes, Radnar goes stark, raving mad. You can decide how this shows. You can go completely catatonic. You can start screaming and raving and run around. And but for the next 70 minutes, Radnar just completely loses it.
Can I do that? Can I do that like in bursts? Like I can be lucid for a minute, and then all of a sudden, run
No,
around.
no, you're driven stark raving mad for the next 70 minutes.
That's what I'm doing. I'm running around screaming.
Yeah, okay. There you go.
I mean, we're
And
still
the dragon
in
just gives a big sigh, just says, "I told you."
I mean, we're still in the
Tavern.
No, we're not in the
Oh
tavern.
no, that's right.
We're
You're
outside
you're in
looking
the
at
cavern.
thing.
You're
So,
this great
I mean,
cavern. Yeah.
I throw myself on his legs so that he doesn't run screaming over the edge or anything.
Wait,
Okay.
can you jump into one of those things and pick him up and just hold him? That's my offering. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Slave, can you hold him on those mechanical machines?
Thank God I'm completely incapable of casting spells right now. Jesus. That was
Yeah, completely incapable. You're just running around madly flailing. If anyone tries to stop you from running, you will fight back. But
That's what I'm saying. Just like use the mechanical device to pick him up.
oh, okay. Well,
get the
Slate
armor.
will grab. He'll get on one. And he sees that there's like gloves. He puts the gloves on. There's like a headpiece he puts on, and nothing happens. And the dragon says, "You need some power." He produces a diamond. And he goes to the back of the machine, and he puts the diamond in the slot. You hear the sound of like breaking glass, and then like veins of electricity shoot through the machine. It stands up, and Slate's able to control the hands with the gloves, and he's able to control so he's standing in it. So when he walks, the thing walks. He's like, "Oh, this is neat."
I would probably think that was really cool if I wasn't running around screaming.
So he reaches down with a pincer hand and just basically makes a cage of metal that surrounds Radnar, who's just like throwing himself, trying to get through it.
I'm like injuring myself, and then the ring heals up a point.
Exactly. You're doing just enough damage that the ring is keeping you from being too badly injured.
Unfortunately, I don't have calm emotions. It doesn't exist as a spell in this.
Yeah. Actually, if you wanted to cast Remove Curse, that would work.
I can do that. Remove curse. If I recognize it's a curse, then yeah.
I think at this,
it was happening.
At this point, I think Galen recognizes that like hysterics like this can be magically controlled with that.
Okay, then yeah.
All right. Well, then if you cast it, Bill, yeah, you're frightened half to death, but you're now sane enough to gain control of yourself, and you don't really know why. You don't really know why, because what you saw was just a floating ball of electricity with tentacles, but for some reason, like deep down, you were just stricken with horror.
As soon as I mean, I'm probably intelligent enough to know that that's what did it, even though I don't understand why.
Yeah.
And so just when I'm able to sort of catch my breath, I'll be like, when you go to talk to the mages, definitely don't show them that. Because I mean, it's cool. I have nothing bad to say about it, but damn, that's all I gotta say.
Well, obviously, you are of a bloodline that was not on this continent when I first arrived. You do not have the genetics to see me any differently, it seems.
Unfortunately not. But thanks. I mean, that was pretty cool.
As you're like got the broken fingernails that are slowly healing. And
I can appreciate the majesty and the wonder of the being that is you through seeing that. But I just, yeah.
You can get that often, I assume. Yeah.
Around.
At times, yes, my people have been confused with gods and such. Yes. I hold no such, positions of grandeur myself. I am simply who I am. I wish
we have various gods.
Do you?
They're busy at the moment, but yeah, we've got them.
Yeah.
Do you know where they
they're
are by any
not around.
chance?
Yeah.
What was that,
What was
Bill?
that?
Do you know where the gods are by any chance?
I don't know what you consider to be gods.
The lady. What's your lady's name, Galen?
Yeah.
Has to check his pamphlets.
Yeah. Hold on. It's in a brochure here somewhere.
That's Ilfandale and Mjolnir are the two that I sort of follow.
You know that lady.
Doesn't
Yeah.
translate well, apparently.
Ilfandale, I believe. Well, it's because you're up the hymn in here. And
Let
I
me
think
ask you this: does
Ilfandale-
Galen present her holy symbol?
Yeah. Well, he has it pretty open anyway. So I have my lady.
All right. So, Azure looks at it for a moment and sighs and says, "Well, I think I can sort this. Gaze upon me, Galen Rayhorn."
Should we create a cage beforehand, just in case?
It might not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
If you take the time to just view the magics around the area, Azure is not trying to hide its form at this point. You see what looks like your goddess.
Well, immediately go
I mean,
down
different presentations of what your goddess was purported to look like. This bright light, this silhouette of a maiden with flowing hair. The outlines of what would be battle armor and a staff. You can't make out details, but this was often how she was depicted. It's just this glowing silhouette of power.
Immediately
So
down
wait,
on one knee.
this
My lady.
lady then?
Yeah. So it doesn't burn your brain because you are a religious person and kind of accept it as what it is.
I've talked to my God before, so
Galen probably. And so in your mind, actually not in your mind, Azure says this, and all of you could hear it. And says, I am not your lady, but your lady was likely a descendant of mine or one of my own race. The physical form turns to Scrimbleshanks, I think, is the one who asked where are the gods? Who asked where are the gods?
The physical form
turns to
into
Radnar.
Scrimbleshanks, which would have been a bit of a different thing.
If those you call gods have recently went missing, I would be greatly interested in finding out why myself.
We all want to find out why. I wish to find my lady. So
Perhaps we could team up for some sort of
Ah,
joint endeavor.
We are, in fact, nearby with our new base of operations. We're only a day's travel away for communication.
Something like that.
We're
We're just a couple of hexes over there.
Yeah. We've recently got the plot of land, but it's underdeveloped and underpopulated.
I see. Follow me. It takes you deeper into the cavern until you're standing in front of this 10-foot high, 10-foot wide solid mithril, metal door.
This is the vault.
Cha-ching! Cha-ching!
Azure places its hand upon it, which glows for a moment, and then the door kind of irises open. And inside are like just stacks of ingots of mithril,
Yep, this is the vault.
gems, coins, etc. And the dwarves are just gone very silent. Their eyes are very big. Azure goes in and gets a fairly large leather pouch and fills it with bars of mithril and brings it back out and hands it to Slate and says, this vault is holding your wealth, your ancestors' wealth. This was the agreed upon price.
It's obviously all our hands reach towards our weapons to take control of this thing.
Take this small amount to your Thane. If our agreement is still in place and those of the bloodline that created the contract can still exist and continue the effort, this is yours. If not, I would make a similar deal with those that survive that can accomplish this task. Slate's just like, oh.
Yeah.
Puddle around, drawl around his feet, yeah.
Amazing.
And He thinks for a moment and says, I begin to see a bit more how you interact with one another in your brain, your memories, Galen. And I must say, my hands have freely given you these bars of mithril slate. If any of you were to try and remove something with this vault without my permission, bad things would happen. Just so that we're clear, Slate.
I do have more remove curse spells. So.
I mean, I would point out that Galen has just told us that either this is like a descendant of, or his lady is a descendant
Ancestral.
of this,
Yeah.
or possibly like another of the same race. So you are not looking at a dragon.
This is
When you tell your Thane this, it is not a dragon; it is a god. I do not
Beyond
know
the
if you have enough
gods.
arms to take down a god.
Slate just is like, oh,
Also, yeah, we should do this away from the gold and mithril and stuff.
yeah. This is a fabulous amount of riches in here.
Yeah.
I would keep this locked up, just in case. I mean,
Of course.
intentions are good, but
So it steps out, and again, as soon as Azure is the last to leave, and as Azure leaves, it kind of iris is closed, and it's just this flat mithril face. You get the idea by looking inside that this is actually this is a cube, a very large cube that you are seeing now is just like the front of it in the cavern wall.
It's all made of neckwater.
if we run our fingers over the cube, there's no seams where the thing was or
nothing.
anything.
It is oddly warm to the touch, though.
Well, there we go. That's a thing.
So it seems that much has transpired since my unintended sleep. I have much to catch up on, but the work must continue. I must leave this place.
Is there a reason why?
I wish to return to my kind.
Where the lady and them have all gone?
I don't know where they've gone.
But there is another planet out there, or place where there are more like you.
Yes. This is your home. This world is far on the periphery of where my people have charted other worlds such as this. A long lost place.
Not wanting to, I mean, if you go back, are we likely to get more of your kind coming here to study us, or as holiday destination?
Of my kind, no. Sadly, there's little here that we have interest in, but the others, the image I've shown you, I am surprised if one ship of theirs was found here, that more have not come. It is possible that ship was damaged enough that it could not signal its brethren.
All right.
This is an elaborate way the GM wants to shoehorn you into a Spelljammer game.
I was thinking Evernight? Is that what it was called? Which is similar.
Oh, yeah. One of the original Savage World settings, yes. All right, so what do you guys want to do? Azure has basically shown you what the work is, given a copy of the contract to Slate, and that's basically it. Stole time. If you wanted to work out something, you had mentioned that Azure is right on the borders of your territory. Azure will basically stay, has no plans to expand. I mean, this is the work. This is what it is. This will take all of its time to complete and to, once it gets a workforce, to get it started again.
Could we offer an alliance, and maybe if you need assistance or if we need assistance, there
I
could
need
be...
crafts persons. If your people are exceptional with crafts, I know the dwarven lineage is exceptional with metals and what I need. Has your people advanced in the time that I've been asleep?
Mostly in the magic region, I would assume, but I'm
Actually,
I'm
yeah.
not from here. I'm from
We know
a
people.
place called Averone. Not quite sure how to
You
get
were a
back
dimension
there.
walker. Yes.
A what?
It's a little matter. I know of people such as yourselves that have crossed from one reality to another. That is what you're trying to tell me, I take it.
We've done that a couple of
Oh.
times.
Yeah, that's we do that
Yes.
sometimes.
But no, actually, we do know some good craftspeople. We work for the Green Company, and our leader Magpie is all sorts of craftspeople on track.
You're trying to tell the guy that makes frying pans and plow holes that he's a great artisan.
Oh, she's got other connections in that as well,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
She's made all sorts of connections. If
Well,
nothing
she
else,
thinks
she'd
she's
be the
a-
one coming and go, so you're one of those craftspeople, do you? I can make connections.
I mean, I think the dwarves would be pretty
Yeah.
pissed off if
Well,
stepped all over that.
hey, they had their chance. If they don't want to take it,
If you want craftsmanship, you ask a dwarf. You need a toilet seat made, ask the humans.
maybe any toilet seats for the spacecraft. I mean, I suspect the thing that we can offer that nobody else can offer is exploration and searching out things that you might need.
That is true. It would save me a great deal of time if I had a force that could acquire goods that I need. Sir Stoltheim, it occurs to me there is something that I would need from a close barony. It appears that I can no longer feed my workers in a way that was once done. They no longer receive nourishment from the fungi that we once used. So food would be a necessity, I would think now.
I have land that I could offer for agricultural and livestock purposes if you have people
we
that
can
could
set up.
raise them, but
Yeah, we have
we
people
don't have the
raising them, so-
manpower.
We can get it. We can get it.
We can work on it, but it's we're still very bare bones. I mean, right now we're working with a couple of humans, a bunch of goblins, and a good amount of orcs, and that's it.
Ah. Well, it seems that my workforce may not be immediately forthcoming either. So perhaps by the time that I have ironed out the particulars with my artisans, you might be in a position that your fields could be open to my use, and I would be happy to contract with you for such goods.
I mean, I would be honored to have somebody such as yourself nearby with, I mean, a good alliance and a good friendship is always nice. Plus, you seem to be gifted in possible magics, and I am still studying and learning. Maybe at some point I could learn something.
Magics. It is interesting that your kind still sees it as something that's, it's science. It's just, I've never been able to explain this to your kind very well, but
I mean, I'm very willing to listen. I've been told I'm very bright.
Just yes. Well, perhaps my time will be limited, of course, by changing the scope of my needs and shoehorning the things that I need into a society that perhaps is not as possible to create what I once needed. But adjustments can be made. Tooling can be done. Yes. Many things to think about. As well as this disappearance of those that you call gods, it does worry me a bit.
It's not usually a good thing when divine beings that are meant to be worshipped and in power suddenly disappear in a society that many look up to.
Yeah, it's making our. We don't. I wouldn't use the word teleportation, but distance travel via that. It's making that a lot harder too.
Yes, I noticed it has become more difficult to walk through my domain than it once was. I feel that there is a block of some sort, like an intrusion upon the ways.
Yeah, the My Lady and the other gods were good at keeping that clear and free for use.
I see. There's some troubling things then. Yes, I believe we've come to something of arrangement. If you wish to be a hired force to track down certain things that I need, I would be able to recompense you in whatever form you would like. Kind of waves a hand at the vault, or knowledge, or trinkets, things that you might find of value.
Shiny baubles.
Yeah.
Table talk.
Let me
I
get out
want to
my
learn.
sack of trade goods for the rubes.
Table talk. I want to learn fucking power words. Give me power word kill.
Well, let's see. So you got some +10 armor there, or?
Yeah, that's in the rube sack. Is that all you want? Here you go. Don't eat all that candy in one sitting, son.
Yeah, and I'm sure Randall can arrange an introduction to the mage who she wants us down.
So let's wrap up, guys. What is your next endeavor? Are you going to let Slate go on his own, or are you going to accompany Slate to the Dwarven Hold to the south of you guys? Because you still need to make some connections there. Well, if you wanted to, because you guys are in need of some supplies yourselves that the dwarves might be able to bring. I'm going back to the main map here, guys.
Yeah. What's the timeline on going to help the Penhalgian Mall thing? Because that's the sort of thing that we're supposed to be doing.
I believe you were given 3 months.
3 or 6. Oh, well, we had 6 months for the elves. They agreed to help for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
There was, I think, whatever the time was, like she had that long to get things sorted out.
Right. So High Forge is here. So it's a little bit of travel from where your new domain is. And yes, the moors is what the Lady of Penhalgian needs cleared out.
Oh, we've got these nice amulets now.
I mean, there's the road, which is the Black Line, right? And that's presumably faster to travel on than cutting through our own territory, even though it would be longer. I mean, we even go down the river, actually. That would be nice and simple.
You can.
Right there.
Yeah. The other thing we'll also look at how easy are the amulets to replicate?
Oh, it's more than just the image itself. It's how it's made, the metal that's made it. Yeah. So just using the image may or may not be of any use. You don't know. And actually, if you ask, Azure doesn't know either. Okay. Depending on how debased and how far from the original line the creature is, just the image itself might be enough, but it probably doesn't have the same amount of potency.
Well, I mean, we can try.
Well, if we got time, then you might as well go to the doors, because as I've been saying, we need to talk to them about giving them those minds up.
If you need more than what you are given, each of you has one of these amulets, but there's like a dozen more in the chest. Freely, but that's all that Azure has at the moment. So if you want to take the rest of them, you can.
Yeah,
I would certainly say take them.
Yeah.
They were used by the workers. I mean, the dragons that were down here as protection at the time have long since passed. Or maybe Azure hasn't had a chance to delve deeper into its domain yet. They might still be down there somewhere. But yeah, that's what they were used for. The workers here would wear them to keep the dragons at bay.
Then yeah, that sounds good. Then if we think we have time, we can go down to the dwarves and talk to them, and then pop over to the mall. Everyone else agree?
The moor is on the way to the dwarves anyway, so
If we
Yeah.
take the river, you are going. You'd end up at
same
high.
direction. So yeah.
You'd probably end up at high Watsamajigiri before you get to
Yeah,
the
you'd
north.
pass High Forge before, because you would have to drop off at High Forge or before then, and then trek through to the moors. So it just depends. Do you really want to go to the moors first or to High Forge first? Slade's going to push for High Forge first.
Yeah.
One, because he's still injured along with the surviving dwarf.
Oh, I can cure them. No one.
Well, but you haven't offered, so they're not going to take that as a given. So if you're going to go tromping into the moors, they don't feel like they're up to the task.
I think we could take them back to High Forge, talk to the dwarf, get that ball rolling, and then we can go and because we have the contingency of elves that are meeting us, right?
Yeah.
And they're gonna help us, and then some of the Penhalgian soldiers are gonna help us. Maybe we can get some of the dwarves to send a force too,
I like it.
and
Yeah,
then
that's
go
a-
to the
Promise not to
moor.
fireball this lot.
And then we have our goblins and orcs, and we just send our forces in there to,
And
in
we sit back.
mass.
That's what happens. Yes.
I mean, we can scout it out beforehand if the talismans
Yeah.
work. I mean, and we can test out
That's
whether.
also a fair point.
So just
Further
for me
space
getting
there,
things
so-
ready for next game, what are we doing first? Are we stopping
High
off High
Forge.
Forge?
High Forge.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll start next game with you in the dwarven prisons. And wait, no.
That
I mean,
was more than fair.
Fully could happen.
That
So
wouldn't
yeah,
be out of the realm of possibility.
right. So High Forge it is for the next game. So let's call it there, guys. Richard, what do you got going on?
Hi there, I'm Richard, and you should remember that the only thing that stands between you and your dreams is your appearance, lack of talent, and general personality. And if you want to see someone with a lack of talent and a general non-personality, why, you can watch me play video games here on Twitch at LMTDTMFFR, or say it with me now.
Limited time offer. No
No
vowels.
I think you've got better while you've been away there, Dion.
I did.
Dion, what do you got going on?
Well, when I'm not playing TTRPGs with all my super cool awesome friends like you guys, you can find me at my channel at Substances Used, where I do a lot of GTA 5 roleplay in the Adonia server. It's an all LGBTQIA plus server. And otherwise, I do a lot of JRPGs. We're playing through Breath of Fire right now. I think I'm maybe like halfway or a little further than halfway at this point. I don't know. There's a lot to do in that. So that's fun. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Jameis, tell us about your blog.
Yeah, there are lots of things there. Whenever it goes up my blog, I instantly forget it because all my memory's being offloaded to the cloud. As is the nature of the way things work now. So Amazon and Google can take a full advantage of everything I know.
Awesome. Bill, got anything going on with the frogs?
Yep, running the Lost City of Baraka still every other Wednesday. They're going to check out the. I think there's a something going on at one of the temples there, so some neat stuff going on there. I've got a Dwaro Deep game I'm running. It's a new Greg Gillespie dungeon, sort of a West Marches campaign, and I've got a group that's getting ready to go deeper into the complex, so that should be fun too. So,
Cool.
yeah.
All right, guys, hang out for a bit. We are going to raid the Lollygaggers. We got a few people in the channel here. Might be worth doing, but check out all of our social links, which I've just dropped in the chat. In particular, go to BlueMagic, BLUMAGIK.com. You'll find all the links there, as well as over 13 years of podcasting goodness. And let's go check out the Lollygaggers, guys. Here we go. Let's see if this works. Raid is created. Okay, so that looks like that's working. So say goodbye, everybody. Everybody on the stream, hang out for just a minute. Let's give the Lollygaggers some love. Thanks for playing, guys. Raiding now.
What?
There we are.
Yep. There we go. Okay.